we OG, we OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC-20, bro. Yeah, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the steel. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystems. What's up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We are live for another Ordinal Hour, and we have a really good one today. The stock market is closed, but Bitcoin is open, right? We can still do everything we can do. We don't need the government to say open, closed, because we never close. 24/7 trading, the only real free market. That's Bitcoin, guys. Decentralized, can't stop it. It's not possible, right? So we got a lot of good stuff to talk about. Real quick, though, we are live for the first time ever on Twitch and Instagram. So if you are a part of those audiences, comment. Let us know you're watching over there. So for the first time ever, so we got that together yesterday, and we're like, let's just stream everywhere. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make Ordinal Revolution on all platforms eventually. So we're still working on TikTok. So we'll get that going as well. But great show for you guys today. We're going to get talking about a lot of Ordinal stuff. You know, the Greed Fragments just got airdropped. Tap protocol, decentralization. We're getting to your market updates. I'll talk about all your bags and everything like that. It's gonna be a great show. And without further ado, I'm bringing my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What is going on, man?
What's up, dude? So it's Wednesday. It's security with Traverse. We can get into that later. But how you feeling so far? I know it's been down. Are your bags hurting?
Yeah, my bags are hurting, man. they are bloody. But I'm okay, you know, pushing through, and you know, that's the theme today. You know, let's push through the week. This is a tough week. Let's push through it together. So for the 52 people that have joined us to start the show, we thank you. Make sure you smash that like on YouTube, and also subscribe if you're not subscribed on Twitter. Share the space for us, and then on all the other new platforms, Twitch and Instagram as well. Please follow us there. But yeah, you know, trying to just get through this week. We've been through tough weeks like this throughout our whole time here. So it's not something new, but it doesn't feel great when it happens, especially, you know, for the most part, it's pretty bullish where we are.
Yeah, I'm just glad we're not just like going sideways completely. Like if we were still at like 67, 68 and just get the same thing every single day, I kind of hoping for like either some blood or something. Like I can't just sit sideways. Just do something, right? Either drop by like 5,000 or pop by like 5,000. Something needs to happen. But we think, obviously, I think is a bounce coming. What do you think? Is there a Bitcoin bounce back coming?
So unfortunately, I'm not in that boat for the next week. So to finish out this week, I don't think so. Next week, possibly though, right? It might be towards the end of next week, but I do feel like there is a possibility that we do finish June strong towards the end of the month. But really, I think it's that first week of July that I'm really eyeing. I mean, that's what the charts are telling me at least. But we'll see.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely excited for it. I think it's coming. I just can't. There's no news for us to get down. That's the problem. Like if there was a news event or something, we'd be down, but we're not, right? So there was a digital billboard yesterday accusing the world's
Mhm.
largest stablecoin Tether of corruption and being featured in Times Square. And if you go back to every single time there was Tether FUD, it usually marked the bottom. It was like, what can we do? Oh, Tether FUD. It was just kind of like always something that was there. And every single time, if you bought on a day of Tether FUD, within a month later, you're up a lot. Depending on what you bought, obviously. But it's kind of, I think it's happening again. I think in a month from now, we're going to be a lot higher. I think this Tether FUD marks the bottom.
Yeah, you know, there's Tether is definitely the most FUDed stable token. You know, that has strength at least. You know, there's some weaker ones that were FUDed, obviously, like Luna created like the a huge market downturn. But with Tether, it's different in my opinion because they've been around for so long, and I don't know, maybe they did do some things in the beginning, but they've built like this like just huge entity now, right? So
Yeah.
the FUD for them is it doesn't really bother them because they just got a bunch of stuff going on with like mining facilities as well as like backing a stable token with gold now. You know, tons of Bitcoin purchases, so they're they have a lot of stuff in their treasury and stuff. So I just feel like it's kind of just possibly just trying to bring the price of Bitcoin down for a short term. But at the same time, like I've said before, there's not a bunch of bad news other than that, just FUD. But there has been corrections before, in the halving year before the big leg up. So it's not that abnormal, but it is annoying to deal with.
Yeah. And I think Tether and Coinbase are going to be our like Microsoft and Apple of crypto. I think they're going to be the top two for a long time. And I think that because like, that's just kind of how it was back in the day. Apple got flooded, bad all the time. Anytime there was like any type of news or something, it was always negative with Apple, especially before Steve Jobs joined back. And I kind of feel that same way they do with Tether. It's just like it's like always the blame game, and which is fine because Tether just keeps moving. They don't, nothing bothers them. They just keep rolling.
Yeah.
And so absolutely amazing. But yeah, jumping into our next set of news here, BlackRock Fidelity now own a combined 477,000 Bitcoin, worth $31.4 billion for their spot ETF. So this is just two of the 11 American ETFs, right? Not including Hong Kong's ETF and many others. So what do you think about BlackRock and Fidelity really being the top dogs?
Not surprised. I mean, BlackRock's going to be the top dog in anything related to TradFi, right?
Yep.
Fidelity's that next biggest brand awareness type of brand in TradFi as well. I don't know if you've seen a lot of these videos that have been circulating with Larry Fink at this round table with a lot of the G7 leaders. You have Trudeau there and all this stuff, and he's just talking about how the financial system in the G7's pretty much like what they're used to is kind of breaking down, and that a lot of the development and growth and stuff is not necessarily going to happen if things stay the same in like these G7 countries, because the growth, the age groups and stuff for the younger citizens of these countries are lower in the G7, so it's going to move south, like below the equator, right? And so I say all that because that's, in my opinion, that's one of the reasons why they're BlackRock is pushing Bitcoin and stuff is to kind of protect their assets from inflationary issues with currencies that the dollar and stuff. They didn't really want to go there, but that's where we're heading, right? And so they're trying to prepare for that, and I think Bitcoin's going to play a huge part of that. And so this is one thing that they're doing, in my opinion, to protect their clients, their large clients, and I think it's smart, really.
Yeah. I agree. And like, how much do you think as this as the big players, the people we call like the upper
1%.
echelon, the 1%? How many people do you think it's all just retail buyers? Do you think it's a lot of the 1%?
Well, I think probably a lot of these clients are their top clients. They're probably the ones that at least use them for fund management, right?
Well, and anyone can go buy it though on E-Trade and stuff like that. Like I can go buy a part of that whatever they call it, the iShares.
Well, I don't think it's I don't think it's the normies, if that's what you're asking. I think the normies are going to use like Robinhood, right? They're going to use Robinhood, the easiest like no hurdle type of situation. But the ones that have gained a ton of wealth and created a ton of wealth through BlackRock and Fidelity over the years with traditional stock market are these people. So they're experienced in terms of wealth management and growing their wealth.
Gotcha. Yeah, sounds good. So Julian Biddle, someone I've been following for a while, he says what we're currently witnessing in terms of Bitcoin price action is fairly typical around the actual halving. So he has a tweet here, and I'm going to show this on my screen here. And I'm freezing a little bit. Am I freezing on your side?
No, you're good.
There we go. Okay. So here we go right here. And he has a really good chart I'll show in a second. But he said, we're currently witnessing in terms of Bitcoin price action is fairly typical around the actual halving. A big pump leading into the halving, followed by a brief but sharp correction. And that's kind of what we're going through right now.
Yeah.
A period of sideways. What I've been saying. Yep, exactly. A final dump to nuke any remaining bullish sentiment. Another phase of boring sideways trading, and eventually price beginning to rise again. Basically, it's the boring zone before the banana zone. Patience, friends. And he had this really good chart, and I'll show this. Let me know if you can see that. Can you see that good?
Yep.
I'll bring it up here for anyone else. So basically, it's looking like, this is the Bitcoin halving, right? This is in May. And right now, he says we're going to be in the boring zone until the end of July. Right. So, and then in August, which you've been saying for a while now, that's when the fun really begins. And he has between August and right before March, I guess the end of February, is the banana zone. So he's saying we're going to fly up, but then it goes even crazier because the end of March, we have that a little bit of a dip going into April, and then April to May, we hit 240. So he's saying we hit 240, but his chart stops here. We don't know how far up he goes, but for the 2016 halving cycle, this is kind of like a repeat of that. What do you think?
Yeah. No, that's what a lot of people have been saying too. And if you're in this space every day like we are, you get locked into like what's happening now. Right. Yeah. And so a lot in coming out of the bear market and experiencing some success at the end of last year and beginning of this year, it's like, this is the year, but it's not. It's the halving year. Right. But it's much better than 2023 was. Right. So I think the perception is skewed. And so because we've tasted some success and coming out of the bear market into a bull market, the beginnings of it, I think we're just impatient. Right. And so we're like, this is the year. This is never supposed to be the year. The halving year is never supposed to be the year. It's the year after the halving. Right. Or the end of the halving year into the next year. That's the bull run year. But it starts in the halving year. Right. And so I think we just got to, get that perspective. There's still going to be moments of bullishness. You can see even on that chart right there at the end of July, in the middle of July, it starts to creep up. Right. Yeah. So even though he's saying August is really when that big leg starts up, we'll probably feel bullishness in July right? Yeah. Heading into August. And that's what I've been feeling. I've been feeling this, like June, the rest of June is going to be kind of sideways. If you look at this 2016, 2017, most people that have experience from that cycle as well say this looks way more like that year or that bull market than it does the previous cycle.
Yeah. And you can see the red is what we've actually done and then what the 2016 cycle actually did. So we're above it, definitely. But everyone thinks that we're going to catch up. So if we could come down here and then, it's around 62,000 around there and then kind of sit here 70,000. Because I can't imagine sitting here between 60 and 70 until August. for someone who does a show every single day, that would be heartbreaking.
Yeah, but remember, that's how we got here, right? It wasn't like we weren't, doing diving into the space every day during slow time last year. So it really does benefit you, even if it's slow or not. It's super crazy bullish or it's slow. It doesn't matter. If you're in it every day, you will be more prepared for when it happens, right?
Yep.
I think that's the most important thing. And if we're sideways from here to middle of July or end of July, then we gotta suck it up, and we gotta prepare for when that orange tsunami does come, right? And that's where my mentality is. Just being ready, being prepared, stacking up some OG collections, stacking up some good tokens and stuff like that. So it's just getting prepared for it. So I think we just got to prepare mentally for a little bit of a dry season, and that's okay because we can build in other ways.
Well, yeah. So Tomo has a great comment here. He says, "Hey boys, hope everyone is remaining calm. Everything will be fine." He said, "If you missed your first opportunity, now it's time to accumulate." And that's kind of exactly what you're saying. If there's something out there that you were looking to get in Bitcoin season 1, you have the chance now to get it in Bitcoin season 2. And I think that's kind of what we're in now. We're in like the second season. That was fun. It was all fun and games, but now we're in the second year. We're in we kind of calmed down a little bit. You can get frogs cheap for the first time, really cheap. You can get puppets probably under 0.1 soon. You might be able to get no monkeys under 0.15. I think you called that a while ago too. It's funny because we're here, but I remember about a month ago or something, I was no monkeys were like 0.3 still, and you were like, dude, I think these hit like 0.18 to 0.14. And I'm like, no way, no chance in hell. And we're sitting here right now, right? So so shout out to you. A great call a few months ago.
Yeah, it bounced back a little bit today at that 0.2. But shout out to our guy Tomo, man. Welcome back. We haven't seen you in a little bit, so glad to see you back in the chat.
Yeah. All right, I think it's time for we'll hit on the there you go. SEC cancels an investigation into Ethereum being a security. So this needed to happen because everyone's saying July 2nd is the date that this will be trading as an ETF. What do you think about this? What do you think this means for us here over on Bitcoin? And like, how big do you think that does it even matter to us?
I mean, it's not going to matter for the for this bull run, in my opinion. It could affect it in the future a little bit, but I mean, you could see like the Bitcoin insightful, people that we respect that kind of break down like what's going on with it, with price action and stuff. They're very not happy about this. If you follow Fred Krueger, really respect that guy, really smart guy. He was very not happy. He just says, I can't trust anything this administration says about crypto and all this stuff. I was like, I can't trust anything this administration says about anything. But with that being said, I think it's good for the overall space though, right? So you and I have a more open mind than the maxis, obviously, because we're in ordinals. And, I think it's healthy for the entire crypto space, right? Bitcoin's still going to get to its targets, in my opinion, this bull market. Do we get to 1 million as quick as we thought before? Maybe not. We still have yet to see. I mean, gold is still gold, even though like other metals became more popular, like silver when silver became more popular. But silver never passed gold. And so I think that's how I feel about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. Bitcoin will always be the premium blockchain and token or coin.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. That's a good way of saying it. Jump in here now to our Bitcoin fear and greed. I'll show this chart. So it's looking like we are right now. It's saying we are 64 greed. Yesterday was 74. Last week was 70. So and then it has this, the fear and greed chart here, and it's showing, we're still in greed. I mean, 64. Do we need to get under 50 for the bottom to be in?
I think we're going to move down pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we definitely need to move down, but you still have people that are trying to, grift with like the Donald Trump token and all these things, and Zach XBT like being like the premier crypto sleuth, internet sleuth kind of go after
investigation.
people. Yeah, exactly. Right. So, by the way, came out to be that Martin or whatever his last name is, the guy that like went to jail for the pharmaceuticals and stuff. That was interesting, man. Dude, it's never a dull day in this space. I'll tell you, even though like sideways action and stuff, there's always some sort of drama you can find. It's just crazy. Anyways, but I will say like some of the celebrity stuff has calmed down, even though it's only been like a day or two. So I think we'll get down to that orange section probably here in the next week, I would say.
Yeah, I hear you. I agree with that. All right, guys, it's that time of the show. Give you guys what is happening. What is the king doing? Show us your charts, my friend.
Yeah. So Bitcoin is, hanging around 65,000, 64,000. Hasn't gotten into the 63,000 range yet. But let's go from shorter time frame, medium time frame, and longer time frame here. So we'll start with the shorter time frame. The 1 hour chart looks like we have exhausted the buy pressure. Could hang out over here in these oversold for a bit. We did bounce back from hitting the low 64,000s all the way to 65.3, but now it seems like we have a possibility to kind of head down a little bit longer here in the short term. So next 3 to 5 hours, possibly get back down to 64, low 64,000s around there, maybe even dip into 63,000. On the medium time frame, which is the next 2-3 days heading into the weekend, it does look like we are possibly due for an uptick. This is kind of nasty right here, though. Whenever you see like a lot of choppiness, not really getting into overbought or oversold, but trending down, we could separate the blue and red lines here on the MACD and continue that trajectory down heading into the weekend. So that would not be great if that happens. That $60,000 range is still on the table to finish this week. So that's kind of what the medium time frame looks like. And then to finish the month, I think I'm a little bit bullish to finish the month. Right, we've been over here and oversold for a very long time. This is the 12-hour time frame, so we're looking at about 15-day forecast on this. We've been oversold for we're going on 12 days now, right? So typically 12-15 days, 2-week time period. We'll turn the tide, if you will, and maybe end the month on an uptick coming out of this mess. So those are just 3 quick little breakdowns of time frames, short, medium, and longer time frame of what we're looking at here.
Love it. Awesome. So if you had to pick the price for Friday, what would you say?
If I had to pick the price for Friday, I would say 63.5.
Okay, so down. You heard it here first, guys.
And I know it's not great, but
we just lost 36 viewers. No, I'm just fine. Let's see here. First is first. I did see our guy Tim Baker yesterday. He did come in early, but YouTube did delete it. So I don't know if I can give that to him, but I just want to mention that he did come in super early yesterday. But I'm gonna give you what YouTube has given us. And first is obviously our man Yasher. If you guys don't know, Yasher is a part of our research and development team. Yasher is amazing. He's one of our biggest community members and what do they call that? Moderator. Moderator. He's one of our moderators. Yeah, totally slipped my brain there. So shout out Yazir, man. We appreciate everything you do for us, man. And then getting into, we have Riasek here. Welcome to the show, my friend. Yeah. And then we have our boy Danny. Danny Boy's in the building. Shout out Danny Boy, 6:37 a.m. Shout out you guys, my friend. Followed by Ordinal Tweets. I Walk Alone says, GM, I'm not going to make it. Got some real life stuff. Yeah, man, we understand, dude. Thank you. And then Tim Baker says, let's get it. Shout out Tim Baker, another one of our mods. And then we have Cache Cats in the building, followed by Date Diver. When information on Tomicals, we can hit on some of that later. Superfan is in the building, followed by, this is a tough one for me. Shoji Mojo. Welcome to, right?
Yeah, Shoji Mojo. Yep.
Welcome to the show, my friend. Crypto Hot News is here. Chief Axel is here. Glass Hopper hopping on those glasses. John is here. We have Cheedy in the building. Shout out Cheedy, man. One of our longest members. We appreciate you. DJ is in the building. Claudio is here. Adventures, welcome to the show. He said, I just want to get ready because BTC is ready and also BRC-20s too. I hope you're right, man. BRC-20s do need a pop. So shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. James Rippin is here. Vision of Tomo. We already said you, but we appreciate you coming back, my friend. Carlos CLS is in the building. And then Patty Poo. Patty Poo, we respect you, my friend. Thank you so much for being here every single day with us, man. Ernesto Gonzalez.
Hey.
What a Mr. Yagobi. He's here today. And then one of my favorites here, No, in the building. Shout out to you. Eat Satoshi's in the building. We love our
GM.
our European guys, man. Shout out to him. Abdul United. Mark is in the building from the Launch Punk. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. Protect Grupa is here. And then John is here. He said, I can't be shaking out the market. I have no emotion. Just ask my wife. She will tell you. I love his comment. Shout out to John. He's here. And then he said, what about pizza, guys? You want to hit on this real quick?
Pizza.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm still bullish on pizza. I mean, it has 100, I think 20,000 holders. So how can you not be bullish on a token that has that many holders? Yeah, let's see what pizza is at right now. $4.42. It's not too bad. It's obviously dropped from its $6 range. So 115,000 holders on pizza. I think pizza is going to explode on the next BRC-20 explosion of that ecosystem. I know they've been building they don't talk a ton about it. They do have spaces on what their intentions are. But once they start to release stuff, I think people are gonna probably be a little shocked. So yeah,
we'll see. I would never count out Unisat and the Layer 1 Foundation for sure. So shout out those guys 100%. All right. Hitting our next thing here. So if you guys haven't claimed your Merle, if you participated in the seal, locked your stuff in the seal and you participated in that, your Merle is now claimable. So go claim that. And then I claimed mine yesterday and I got it a few hours later. So do that. I know you got half of your Merle and then you got a quarter of your Merle and now you're getting an eighth of your Merle. And then for the next 4 months, you'll get an eighth, and then 64th at the very end. So definitely check that out. If you guys haven't claimed it, claim it. Is available on every 19th of the month. And today is that day. So do that.
100%.
Going to our next thing. Greed Fragments just dropped with a holder count of 25,000. The iconic number 20 is now live in the market. So this is from our boy from MagiSat. He is just cooking, man. He has like 3 tokens though. but we think this is his is going to be his main token, correct?
I believe so. It sounds like it makes sense. Greed, he does the Apostles of Greed. And so it makes sense for that to be the primary focus token. I hope that they still, focus on like Koala and Impala and all the other ones that they etched at the beginning of Runes. But we'll see. Quarry's been an amazing person in the space. We've had him on our show multiple times, had calls with him multiple times, always there to help the community. He's been in situations where he's literally helped community members be able to get some of their assets or like stop some of their assets from being drained out, stuff like that. So I'm excited for him. I wonder how they got the 25,000 holder count though. Was this an airdrop or anything?
It was an airdrop. Yeah, he airdropped it to holders. So what he did was he airdropped it to holders of collections. So he went after like a bunch of collections of good founders, he said, and he helped out those founders. So shout out to Quarry, man. He's always doing the right thing. Quarry's a good guy. I just wanted to give us one story. Me and Yagobi were once thinking about helping someone out and doing a Black Sats. Uncommoners and Black Sats. We had Quarry up to kind of ask him about that. And he's like, guys, I honestly don't think it's worth it for you guys. He's like, obviously, I'll make money off it, right? And that was the best part to me. He said, if you do this, I will make money because you're going to come buy my Black Sats and I'm going to make profit. But I don't think you guys should do it because right now it's just not the market conditions and, the uncommoners didn't do well and stuff like that. So Quarry's just a stand-up individual and I really hope all of his projects do really well. I heard MagiSat really does well. So check out MagiSat, guys. Check out Quarry. Definitely a good friend of ours as well. So
yeah. Now I'm checking some of my wallets to see if I got some of that airdrop.
You might have, yeah.
I hope I got some frogs. So hopefully he rewarded the OGs. The OGs, and it looks like he didn't. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'll go through all that stuff. I go through all that stuff. Yeah. but definitely a good guy, and that story was 100% true that you just told.
So the next thing here is, okay, so let's just tell this story. So last December, December 31st, Mineral dropped a blue mineral ordinal that was amazing. It did incredible. It went from $50 to about $2,000.
Yeah, at the
went
top.
crazy. Then they came out and they had their site where you stake it, and I kind of wrote this off. You know, I had 50 of these at one time worth over $100,000. They were locked up though, so I couldn't sell them. It's not like I had any chance to sell them. And then once they got unlocked, it really dropped down to like $300 again. This has been a complete disappointment to us, especially because we were really bullish on them. And but today they're unveiling MNER Club 2.0. It's a big article. Do you feel like reading this?
Yeah, I mean, oh, you got it up? Okay,
I have it up.
cool. Well, yeah, let me add mine. Or well, I guess I'm
Okay.
reading it from the thing anyway. So yeah, I'll read it. So unveiling a new era Miner Club 2.0. So I'm gonna kind of try to hit on the highlights here. So it says Miner Club made its debut. It goes through like the history of that, right? And most of you guys know what that was, right? Shizzy just explained that. It says fast forward to the present day, we have managed to have 890 top of the line BTC mining servers under management. So that was part of that launch, was to buy mining servers. And it says they distributed 500,000 in yield to the community. So this did not come without its set of challenges. And they predominantly identified the following issues. So high cost of claiming yield, low liquidity for miner or MNER, limited utility for blue mineral, the BRC-20, composability limitations for partners. So, and then they said, after careful consideration and listening to members of the community, which is great because people have been trying to tell them to do that, and partners, the team has revamped the foundation of the entire protocol to address the core issues, as well as make significant improvements to the scope, utility, and composability of the project. In this article, I'm very excited to share the following. Number one, what will change, what will not change, introduction to the new model, and timeline of what you can expect. So what will change? Let's start there. The mineral protocol will be rebranded to Miner Club. Okay. Who cares about that? And then it says stake MNER will be removed. So they are removing the stake MNER, and MNER will be removed as well. So they're adding RMNER and then R2 MNER. Existing MNER and ST MNER will be converted to RMNER. So if you have MNER in your wallet or ST MNER, that's all going to convert to RMNER. And it says RMNER does not generate MNER. Okay, so that they want to clarify that. But you will, that's what you're going to get. So we'll figure out what this is here in a second. Blue mineral will provide additional utility, which is great. So they're going to add more utility to that BRC-20, which a lot of us probably hold. And then it says you no longer need to stake MNER to receive BTC yield. So that's another great thing. So that MNER, you can't, you probably just use your blue mineral, but we'll see how that works. Existing MNER that is not allocated will be destroyed. So it looks like a token redistribution is kind of what they're doing here. So whatever MNER was, in that main wallet that was distributing it is going to be burned. And it says exceptions for liquidity provision and blue mineral reward allocation. So that's the only exception that's not going to be burned. What won't change? And it says ownership of existing assets will remain the same for all users. So none of your assets will just disappear. Real world asset mining servers remains. So that's great. So they're keeping the Bitcoin miners. BTC yield will continue. So that's another good thing. We're still going to keep earning Bitcoin. And it says our team's commitment to building the miner club. So they're stating that they're going to remain committed, which is good. Introduction of a new model. So they're going to bring in a new model. Primary method of tokenizing real world assets will be through rebase tokens, which will streamline user experience, maximize composability, minimize variable cost of receiving yield. Okay, so it looks like they are trying to tokenize real world assets in this new approach, which to me is good because it brings more value to it. Now, I'm not going to read any more. Obviously, there's a lot, like you said, but they're changing the mechanism of this to try to entice more users to come over. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, so it was dead. Yeah, I even chalked it up as a zero. I have all mine staked for months and months and months. You know, I chalked it up as a zero. So this just makes me feel a little better. I'm not bullish on it. I wouldn't go be buying any minerals right now. But it sounds like they're working with real DeFi guys finally, right? It sounds like they have probably accumulated a bunch of good advisors at least. We're not one of them. But they have got a bunch of advisors. This is so the RMR stuff. This is real DeFi stuff. Like this is some, you know, some Andre Kranja DeFi stuff here. A lot of stuff that he does with his protocols. But yeah, so they're definitely working with real DeFi guys. I'm curious to see what they do next. But you know, what we know about them is that they were just, you know, Web 2 guys, right? Who came over here and they started building on Merlin and stuff like that. So they weren't really in the DeFi stuff, and they built a DeFi protocol. I don't think they realized they built a DeFi protocol because they were just trying to stake and earn rewards, but they did. And now it's becoming that. So we'll see. And I'm hoping they have some really good advisors. I mean, the Chinese community really got after them. Well deserved, though, not gonna lie. But it seems like their timeline is coming together. We'll see. I'm curious what this looks like in 3 months. I'm hoping it does well. I have obviously a holder of this, but again, I chalked it up as a zero. And if it becomes anything but that, then that's a win. So
Yeah, I'm in that same boat. It's kind of like you got to prove it to me now.
Yeah.
Like wards are cheap, and you know, yes, you were able to hype up the price to $2,000 per. So some of the holder, you know, of our community members that ended up selling close to that peak did very, very well. So congrats to you guys. But you know, I really want to see this project do well, but I'm not going to, you know, put another dime into it until they, you know, prove something here. So we'll see. What I'm feeling though is that they're like seeing like a lot of building happening on Merlin, and they're just like, you know, we got to get our stuff together before August, because in August things are going to explode and we're going to miss that chance. And so we'll see. The real world asset part interests me, but I want to see something that is actually there first.
Yep, 100%. Let's move on to some Tap stuff here. No big news, but this is just something that Tap Protocol tweeted. They said validators of the real MVPs in the upcoming years. The more that is developed on Tap, the greater the rewards for those who contribute to its decentralization. So, if you guys don't know, the validators are how they're going to be governing this. You know, what is that?
Protocol?
The indexer. So they're trying to decentralize the indexer. Tap is trying to be the chain link of Bitcoin. The indexers are our oracles. How we run everything is through an indexer. So they want to decentralize their indexer. But even to do that, you need to have validators to validate the indexer, right? So they have the first one done. It has a million Bitcoin track in there. And by you basically give up your track. I'm pretty sure it's locked. And then what happens is you now get basically an ordinal, I think, that's going to be at the validator saying you're licensed to use the validator, and you have that license will allow you to run the validator and so on and so on. So they want to make sure they get as many validators as possible. We haven't heard if there's a cap on it yet, but we think there's going to be some type of cap. But these validators are going to be big, and the first one starts at 100 track, and as that's sold out, the last one starts at 10,000 tracks. So, and it's going to be pretty big. A lot of tracks going to get locked up. I think it's going to be really good for track holders. I think Benny is really putting priority for track holders. Track is different than Tap. That's what people need to understand. Track is the decentralized indexer, while Tap is the protocol, like a BRC-20, but with more ecosystem stuff like that. So I'm curious to see what happens with the Tap protocol. I'm excited for Benny. I'm excited for track holders as well.
Yeah. You know, track holders have been waiting a long time for it to explode. And to be fair, it did get pretty high. It got to, what was the all-time high? Like almost $9 or something like that, around there. I think it was around there, but maybe it was,
I think
like
it was $8-9.
Yeah, around there. I could be wrong, but you know, we, like, my target was $30 for track, right? For in the bull market, in the peak of the bull market. So
you think it's still possible?
I mean, I think it is if they, you know, continually like burn tokens like this or lock them up forever, right? Now, you know, like you said, is it going to be like an inscription ownership type of situation? What are they going to do for this ownership? Because you will be able to sell it, from what I heard. But we've seen other, like I've heard of other projects like on Ethereum do this, but they have like a node program or whatever, right? You have nodes, and then like you can like mine the tokens of that token or whatever. So it's going to be very interesting. Things seem to be developing pretty quick over there now. Like in the last part of this, obviously no rollouts yet, but here in the next maybe like 11 days, we should start to see marketplaces and stuff. That's stuff that they're claiming to be coming. So that's where I think the exciting part's going to be. When we start to see those marketplaces and like for example, you got Mark, shout out to Mark from Launch Punks, that's a launch pad. That's going to be, and they're doing things very different from a traditional launch pad. Just that's all I'll say, and hopefully we can get those guys on the show too, to kind of talk about what they're going to roll out. But I think people are going to be impressed with what that approach, because it's different.
And we were lucky enough to see the deck they had there with the guys. We were blown away by it. Definitely bullish on Launch Punks, and Benny and the team is bullish on them too. It's a part of their validator rewards of the first validator. So if you participated in that, you'll get a little piece of their token stuff. So we're very bullish on them, and can't wait to see can't wait to have them on show one, and can't wait to see what they're building and be able to play with it and stuff like that. They see the actual product. Mark says track $45 a full bull run target. So he said you're not bullish enough, Yagobi. He said your 30 is not bullish.
Hey, I like to be conservatively optimistic.
And he says 100% will come on the show. So looking forward to that. Can't wait for that. So definitely. All right, moving along here. Okay, this is good. The co-founder of Stacks posts about Stacks L2 is deeply integrated in with Bitcoin. So I have an article from those guys here. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll just give you the gist of it. Stacks L2 is deeply integrated with Bitcoin. Instead of EVM, Stacks is going for a safely focused BTC first tech stack that expands to WASM. So WASM is basically what Polkadot uses. Astar uses it, and a bunch of other stuff. So this is pretty big. He said years of R&D and dev feedback went into the design of fast L2 consensus and decentralized bridge design and integrations. All right. Was that iterations? Sorry. There's a new L1 BTC restaking protocols and primitives emerging before Nakamoto. So Nakamoto is our big upgrade that got pushed back to August. Nakamoto Part 2 launch progress is green, and the code complete is on track. So they're ready. They're saying they're basically mature institutional products like Grayscale Trust, and this is something you brought to me earlier, emerging for Stacks. So Grayscale is now putting out. You can be able to buy that on the stock market and stuff. So I just want to basically say, Stacks is building, and we've been waiting a long time for this Nakamoto upgrade. I'm curious of your thoughts on Stacks.
Yeah, how big of a pivot is that? Right, like
going to WASM.
Yeah. Well, how similar to well, I guess they weren't using EVM, but they're what, like, does it make sense, and does that make you bullish on Stacks? Because you're familiar with WASM, right?
Yeah, so I use WASM when I'm using Astar. Astar is a Japanese blockchain. It's focused on what Japan is doing and stuff like that. So they use WASM, but they also have both. They have WASM chain and an EVM chain. And but you can't, like, it's hard to go back and forth. Like it's a bridge, but it's like,
takes like
basically
days.
Locked in one up. It doesn't take days, but it's a lot longer than going from EVM to EVM. So I'm very bullish on this. I'm curious to see if they eventually have released Nakamoto. We've been waiting for it. Was supposed to be a few months ago, but then it got pushed back. But I just wanted, we don't really talk Stacks on the show too much, and I think I want to change that eventually when Nakamoto drops. But yeah, and especially with Alex's hack about a month ago now. Just want to they're still very bullish on themselves, and they're still building. So
yeah, hey, the Grayscale edition is big. I feel like if Grayscale added them to their fund, or gives the TradFi guys accessibility to Stacks, and that's big, right?
Yeah.
But we'll see. You're right. They did announce that the upgrade was coming, I think, in June, and it got pushed back, and I think August is the next timeline of whenever it's supposed to be released, and they say they're on track for it. Look, a lot of this has to do with timing the market too. You guys have to understand that there's going to be a ton of stuff released at the same around the same time from all these builders, right? Like August is going to be probably, if that month is going to play out the way most people think, we're going to see a bunch of like just crazy rollouts August, September, October in terms of innovation too. So be ready for that. You might have to start acting quick too during that time, because you're like, oh my God, like we didn't know this was going to come. I mean, that's my prediction. I could be wrong with that, but like that's just, you know, you have to understand that they're trying to take advantage of like that aggressive leg up, right? They want to, it's like a trader, a good trader. You know, these people have experience from previous cycles, right? So a good trader is going to try to maximize its gains and minimize its losses, right? And experienced builders in this space are going to try to maximize its gains for its project. And that's just, I think, what a lot of them are doing.
100%. I agree. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Nakamoto just needs to come out and it needs to be amazing. I'm just worried that Nakamoto comes out and then the app codes might be dropping in, and then it's like, oh crap, because then they got to pivot again. But we'll see.
Well, I don't think the pivot will be that bad. Like for even like the EVMs, so like Merlin and Stacks, that, you know, because at that point you're just, the bridging just becomes a lot easier.
That's true,
right? And so you're just like, well, now we can just bridge easier. You know what I mean? Like, because there needs to be like an L2 ecosystem, anyways, regardless if like there's smart contracts and stuff on Bitcoin. So I don't think it's going to be that big of like an issue if opcodes do get added to Bitcoin Core, but I don't think we see that for a while.
Yeah, for sure. Bank and Nakamoto dollar, they came out and they said NUSD TVL growth is our primary focus. So their primary focus is onboarding people into NUSD. Obviously, if you hold NUSD, you're getting like, I think it's like 800% yield on that right now. But Jack came out and said you're not going to receive that bank yield until September, October. So what do you think about NUSD? They're using some type of RSIC type of thing where they're counting the days that you hold and how much you hold and stuff like that. So you're basically mining the RSIC way. It's very centralized. But what do you think about that being their main focus?
I mean, you got to, you know, trust the guy that worked for Circle, right?
Yeah.
In terms of like, you know, having been a part of a successful stable coin team, I imagine he knows what he's doing with this, right? And so if that's where him and his team think that the focus needs to be on, then I mean, stability for the stable token has to be number one priority, right? Like, because when you don't have a stable coin, then no one's going to feel good or comfortable if it's constantly like depegging, you know, even if it's only depegging like, you know, 4 or 5 cents, pretty dramatic, but like, you know, if that's a couple of times and stuff like that, it gets back, you still don't feel very comfortable about it. So I think what they're trying to do is just show like, you know, that this stable token coin is stable in fact, and that TVL growth is going to build confidence. So it makes sense to do that.
I agree. I definitely agree with you. All right. We're gonna move into some digital artifact market updates here. I'm gonna cover the digital artifact. You wouldn't mind. What do you want to do? You want to do the runes or the BRC-20 today?
Digital artifact?
I'm gonna. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'll take care of the BRC-20.
Okay, cool. And then I'll cover the runes after that, and then maybe get in some Ordinal's wallet after that as well. So before our man Abdul pops on in about 12 minutes, so we'll knock it out pretty quickly for you guys. Node monkeys. You know, sitting back at 0.2, it just got all the way down to about 0.17. I was hoping for a 0.15. I definitely want to get back into this project. Definitely love the early descriptions. The puppets, man, also got down to 0.10. Our man Block from OSD said he's expecting 0.07. I think you said that at 1.2, dude. Your numbers have been really good. Predictions of where these going to drop to. But he said that every Ordinal project is following the same chart the Goosenals are on.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it was a really good post. Check him out, Block on Twitter. But yeah, I mean
it wasn't just Goosenals. It was like also like Ordi and Stat too. Like like it was like basically the mainstream ones. They all look very similar.
Yep. Quantum Cat's in that third spot, sitting at 0.25. Why do you think Quantum Cat's been holding so strong? Is it because of the Magic Internet Money token?
Could be.
Yeah.
Also, they raised a ton of money.
They did.
Of money, right? Like, how much was mint again? Wasn't that 0.1?
It was
something?
0.1 times 20. What was that? What's the count
20?
on that?
I think it
20,
was
3,333 times 0.1.
Yeah, and at
So
the time, I don't remember what 0.1 was, but 0.1 has, there's a lot of money that
yeah,
was raised, right? So
yeah,
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that they do a good job with their marketing, their team. Talking about like holding the ordinal that brings in OpCat and
yeah,
future plans and morphing into a wizard. You haven't gotten your wizard yet, so they've done a good job in like dangling that carrot, right? I think
yeah,
that dangling that carrot in front of these holders, they probably done one of the best jobs with that. Like in terms of
yeah,
like future promises, even though they haven't promised, I'm not saying that, but it's implied, right?
yeah.
And so, yeah, that's my reasoning behind it. If I had to think of something.
Yeah, I think you're right. Runestones, and shout out our man Yasher. He says that he thinks that Runestones right now is the best buy because of the 2 airdrops you're getting with the 2 new meme tokens that Leonidas is going to be dropping. And you've seen what Leonidas did with Dog, so it might be a good play. So shout out Yasher for putting that out there. So what do you think about Runestones? Do you think it's a buy right now?
Man, I'm not interested on it. I'm not saying that he's not right. He's probably right on it. I
Yeah,
just don't know what the next airdrop's going to be, and until Dog gets to 1 billion, I don't think anybody's going to be bullish about the next airdrop. All right,
yeah,
so I think Dog needs to actually cross over 1 billion, pass Ordi, be that leader in the fungible token space on Bitcoin, and then talk about like the next airdrop. But hey, I will say that it's been holding that 0.01,
yeah,
0.012 very, very
yep,
well. 0.012 to 0.018, whatever it's gone up to. That's solid for being this long and holding that.
yep. Blob sitting here in that fifth spot. So Blob, you gotta remember too, you get the epic token. So that's kind of why this one's holding up really well too. It's got up to about 0.05. I think this is kind of on the low side here. Ordinal Maxibiz completely falling to pieces here at 0.21. They were hanging tight about 0.4 for a while, and then they've just been down only since then. So Ordinal Maxibiz is dropping. The Royals, one of the few that are up on the 7-day, up to 0.0035. Royals, they also have that 25%. You get more of the these points up here. The Frogs too, you get the points for the Frogs too, so you're 0.05. Magic Eden's been very grateful to the Frogs, man. They've had this constantly, so they earn 25% more diamonds on the Frogs. So Frogs doing really well comparison. They got all the way down to
What did
like
I tell you? What did I tell you about the
0.39,
Frogs?
so
I told you that they're not going to drop anymore,
yeah,
really, because they've bled out already a lot.
yeah,
So they're going to hang around this 0.05 until
yep,
the next ordinal, blast off for the ecosystem. And I'm really hoping for a target of like 0.2 to 0.3
yeah.
for them, but we'll see.
We'll see, definitely. The Shrooms have been in the top 10. I guess there was one sale. Yeah, one sale on that at 1.421. RSIC Meta Protocol at 0.015, and Frux. Yeah, man. I have a question for you real quick. It just popped in my head. I posted it on the Ordinal Revolution Twitter, but if you woke up from a night of drinking, obviously you don't drink anymore, but like if it's one day you woke up at night drinking, and you woke up and you had Satoshi, it said Satoshi Nakamoto's keys, and then it had the private key on your arm. What's the first thing you would do? And you popped it into an Xverse and everything came up. What's the first thing? Would you move any of it?
No.
Would you wonder what the hell I did last night?
Well, I mean, like, yeah, that number one. But if you move anything in that wallet, Bitcoin
Yeah.
crashes to hell.
Yeah.
And I feel like you have a life decision at that point. Do you want to ruin Bitcoin, or do you want to be rich real quick? Because you could technically just sell your Bitcoin real fast, how much ever is in there. But at that point, you know, they're gonna figure out who you are.
Yeah.
And you're gonna probably be like not live a calm life after that. But I just feel like there's just the whole belief system that I have would just completely crumble, and I just wouldn't do it. I know that like people are like, oh yeah, but like I just couldn't do it, you know. But
what I would do, what I would do is I would sell everything, so my house, my cars, everything, and put a short on Bitcoin, and then just move one of the Genesis tokens to Casey Rodimer's wallet, and then just erase my arm and walk away, because I just made millions of dollars on my short, right? So if I put 100 grand up short Bitcoin, and then
you still
send
ruin,
one Bitcoin,
but you ruin Bitcoin.
that is true. That hurts.
You
not.
destroyed Bitcoin completely, because now all the faith that like that wallet,
those coins would move.
Exactly, is gone.
Yeah. All right, let's head over to the BRC-20. Hey guys, put in the chat. We'd love to know what you guys would do. What would you guys do if you woke up and you had Satoshi's wallet address and keys on your arm? Would you just wake up and erase it, or would you send something out?
I would erase it.
Yeah,
I would erase it. Yeah.
My thinking would be, if it's not me, it might be someone else. Someone else could wake up one day with the same keys in their arm, you know, and then move it, and then I don't make.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing too, is that like if someone wrote it on my arm, or if I wrote it on my arm, it's somewhere that's accessible, right?
Yeah.
So that I might not erase it, but like I definitely wouldn't move anything. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be the person that moves it, right? But
no one would know who you are if you moved one Bitcoin.
I mean,
short of it.
IP address, like, yeah, of course, like you could use a what's it called? Dang it.
One of those things. Oh, the cleaners.
You can't track the IP.
Yeah,
no, you can't track your IP. You use it. What's it called? I can't.
Oh, yeah, VPN.
VPN. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could use a VPN, but I just feel like you can't get it off of. You can't convert it to anything, or they're going to figure it out. Unless you
just go to a local library. Send one to Casey's wallet. And then
no, I mean like, but oh, just send one to Casey's wallet. Yeah.
Just send one to Casey's wallet.
That's the only way like you can make money without like identifying who you are.
Because you're just shorting it. You're putting $100,000 up or $200,000 and shorting it.
Yep. All right.
Yashir has a really good answer to that real quick. I'm sorry. He said, I'd hold it, build some schools for underprivileged students. And he's saying he would hold it and just use it for good. So
yeah, you could do that. You could definitely do that. All right. Let's get into are we done with the collections?
Yeah, we're done with the collections.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna just touch on the BRC-20s real quick. There's not a ton of volume here, but you can see in the past 24 hours, pizza is still that number one spot on the exchanges, at least, or the the non-centralized exchanges. $394,000 in 24-hour volume here. Market cap is under 100 million for the first time that I've seen it. It probably was under there yesterday, but 91.38 million for the market cap of pizza. And then you have number two, you have Pi coming in at $123,000 in 24-hour volume, 38.77 million in market cap there. PIIN, which is it's a strong Chinese Eastern token, utility token though. I believe that's going to be in the modular system. $62,000 in 24-hour volume, 23.38 million market cap there. BNB, this is something that showed up, I would say like 3 weeks ago. It's sitting at 47,000 24-hour volume, $4.62 million market cap. Then you have Wizard topping off the top five at 43.9 thousand in 24-hour volume, 90.92 million. And then some notable ones here. We have Track at 26,000 in 24-hour volume, $35 million market cap at $1.66. Still in my opinion, like this is a juicy price for me. Anything under $2, I feel like is juicy. And then Pups is starting to that bridging is starting to take effect. You can see here at $11,000 in 24-hour volume, and then 71 million. So this has come down from like 140 million to 71 million. So it looks like they are starting to bridge all of those assets off. And then you have your Rats here, which is under 100 million as well. It held on to that 100 million for a long time. So that $71 million market cap, 7,000 in 24-hour volume. And then you have Sats. So one thing that a conversation that's been had in the Bitcoin ecosystem with fungible tokens is that Ordi and Sats have kind of taken on their own like identity away from like being purchased on Bitcoin's chain, right? Like they now are on centralized exchanges, a lot of leverage trading, a lot of stuff like that. So the market caps and prices are not necessarily dependent upon us, right?
Yeah.
It's more of like the centralized exchanges. So to me, that's bullish when you have two tokens like that. Now it is under 500 million in market cap here, and you can see only 6,900. So this proves my point here in 24-hour volume. Let's see where Ordi's at. Ordi's not even on this page, is it? Or did I miss it?
Ordi's a centralized token.
Yeah.
Like
So Ordi's even more like that, right? It's
Yeah.
not even on 24. It's you can see here. But it's under $1 billion for the first time in a while. So the market cap is at 927 million there. So that is the BRC-20 market update, guys. You know, is the Layer 1 Foundation going to wait until August? Is Unisat and them and Domo and that whole group going to wait till August to release their modular system and stuff like that? Because I do believe they are timing the market. I believe that 100%.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to time the market and they're trying to release that product according to, you know, bullishness of sentiment.
Agree. Sounds good. Sounds good. I'll jump over to here to give you guys a quick run before our man Abdul jumps on. So we do have Fehu sitting at 1.9 billion, which we know is fake, but because they own 99% of the tokens. Dog Go to the Moon sitting at $600 million market cap. This is down pretty bad over the last couple hours or last couple days. Bank, dude, getting handed today, down 24%. I'm looking to get in. Honestly, I don't hold any right now. If this just gets down to $180 million market cap, that is where I'm going to be buying 100%. So just be into that. RSIC Genesis Protocol at 138 million, followed by Pups World Peace at 74 million. $1 billion cat sitting at 60 million. This one's Billy. Billy's been running. Epic at $43 million market cap, followed by Lobo the Wolf Pup at $36 million market cap. Centralized really hanging in there in that 30 million. This really hasn't dropped too hard. So you get 2.3 sats. Satoshi Nakamoto at $1.35. This one really getting beat down as well, down 28 million. Let's hit on some notable ones here. The Donald Trump down to 9 sats. This could be one to get for the debate coming in about 8 days on June 27th. So I'm actually looking to buy. I mean, this is below my price that I wanted to get in, so I'm slacking on that one. Let's see. Stupid Silly Cat sitting at a $4.4 billion market cap. We faded this and are wrong for doing so. So I'll just put that out there. And then our man, Mr. Yen, the Japanese businessman, at 13 cents at a $2.2 million market cap. Mr. Yen, all he does is work and love his son. So you guys aren't giving him the love that he deserves. So I just want to put that out there. But,
Yep.
And that is your runes, guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
So we're going to jump into Security Wednesdays, brought to you by Traverse Labs. So every Wednesday, we have our man Abdul to come on, and we kind of give you guys a rundown on what they're doing and kind of see what they're thinking about, about what they're building and stuff like that. So we're going to get into that in a second. But if you don't know what Traverse is basically a vault that you can lock in your stuff, and what it does is it protects you from a lot of different things, right? You get these MFA codes, and what these are, is Google Authenticator, and you get an email. So in order to get into this vault, you have to sign with your wallet, but you also have to get the email that you signed up with and the Google Authenticator code, and that's the only way to access this wallet. So if you do get one of these, make sure you get the Google Authenticator on multiple different devices. You should really do that with everything, because I mean, you told me before you had problems with a work thing, with that type of stuff. So anything you can tell us about Traverse before we bring Abdul up?
Yeah, we experience wallet drains through our community and other communities, and we saw one as large as $750,000 of value happen. Like I think it was about a month ago, right? And that was a huge one. I mean, imagine losing $700,000 or $750,000 worth of ordinals, right? But if you had them secured and locked up in a Traverse security vault, then that prevents that, right? So it's just an extra step that you take from being cautious and protecting yourself, right? So that's what it's for. I think they're doing great things. They're a part of a new emerging ecosystem, with Tap protocol. And so also one thing as well is like, they are across multiple different ecosystems as well, right? So not just Bitcoin, but they are shining for sure over here because Bitcoin, the community in Bitcoin definitely thinks about security first and foremost.
Yep, and they're fully doxed, guys. It's non-custodian. They do not hold your stuff. They can't get into your vault, nothing like that. So it's purely just a way to give you a second layer of security. And if you grabbed your words, you left them. Let's just say you left them somewhere, someone grabbed them, they put your words in. They would still need those MFA codes to get into to access your stuff and then send it out. So it's pretty big, and that's why we partner with Traverse because we've seen a lot of hacks and stuff, and we were like, there's no hardware wallets here, right? And even if there was, you can still get into them by there's other ways of getting into your computer and stuff, but this is a really safe way. So without further ado, let's bring in Abdul. Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution, my friend.
What's up, guys? How are you? I appreciate you for having me.
Good, doing good, man. Thanks for joining us.
No, thank you.
So,
I appreciate everyone for listening as well.
Yeah, for sure. So what's been going on with Traverse? Obviously, you guys have been really busy, not only with just having a lot more users, but also just with the whole tap ecosystem. So is there any updates that you can give the community on what's been going on with Traverse recently?
Sure. The past 2 weeks when I was with you guys, we've been mentioning that we were about to sign incubation, and you know what? Like I didn't, to be honest with you, discuss anything beforehand with any of the team members with Traverse on whether or not we can say the name. But at the end of the day, to be honest, it makes just sense to clear it out for you guys specifically. So we incubated with Skylabs, and Skylabs is the incubator of other tap ecosystem projects, including Foxy, including Ghosty Cash as well, and obviously Tap and the Track ecosystem. It's a big month for the tap ecosystem itself, so you can expect a marketplace that will be coming very soon. The TGE release from CoinList is likely going to appear as well around June 28th. And there's a lot of other developments within the tap ecosystem that's coming as well. Where Traverse is standing, though, we're very much close to finishing off our Rune support. Airdrop for OG pass holders for their tap tokens will be coming. It will be coming today or within maximum the next 24 hours. That is our top deadline for you guys to receive your tap tokens in your vault. So we have received questions on that, and it's going to be in the vault that you secured your OG pass in initially. That's where you're going to see your tap tokens. So it's not going to be the wallet that created the vaults, essentially. So that's just some interesting developments on the Traverse side. Number one thing, as other projects face, is really just resource constraints. So we have a vision for Traverse, which is a multi-chain vision, so a vault for all of your assets, and that's what we're working on. We're also working on our passkeys, so same exact thing as the past few weeks. With resource constraints, definitely with the help of Skylabs, with the help of our funding round, which we are going through, is going to be tremendous in order to complete the development and onboard a lot more users to Traverse.
Awesome. Those are great updates, and definitely appreciate you guys for working with the Ordinal Revolution team and our OG pass holders. So guys, get excited about that. You guys are going to get some tap Traverse token airdrop to your security vault. So it is going to your security vaults, not the original wallet that you created the vault with, but you're going to have full access to those tokens. So that is very, very exciting.
Yeah.
One
quick,
topic.
Though,
go ahead.
I just wanted to say, so by the end of the month, we're gonna have marketplaces, we're gonna have wallets, we're gonna have Tap really doing a lot of crazy stuff with his promises stuff, probably early next month for that. But before we hit on Traverse, how excited are you for the Tap? I mean, one thing I was screaming about since October, and the reason why we really stopped covering Track for a couple months, it wasn't because nothing was because we were bearish on Track at all. We were actually still bullish Track, but there was no foundation really, right? It was just you can just mint and trade on Ordinal's wallet, but finally we actually getting real innovation happening. Obviously you're behind the scenes a little bit, so I would kind of want to get your opinion on how bullish are you on this tap ecosystem.
Very much so. And Shizzy, coming from a traditional finance background, I recognize that a lot of people in the space don't necessarily like the concept of, let's say, stealth mode, where a startup or a team of individuals will just continuously work on the project, make sure like everything is ready, make sure everything is functioning as intended. And even then they would like kind of be hesitant regarding releasing some snapshots or their stages of progression, simply because they want to maintain that stealth mode, or just that they want to maintain that they can actually deliver what they promised. And this is exactly how I feel. At the very least, the TAP team is taking the approach for TAP itself, at least when it comes to some of these updates, when it comes to the vision for their ORTFI and DeFi functionalities as well to be enabled on Bitcoin Layer 1. This is exactly what they're working towards. And with their partnership with ICP, I think the capabilities really are going to be tremendous. And it's funny, I mean, TAP and ICP kind of share, I think, the same exact, not necessarily flaws, but kind of a con, which is a lot of people don't necessarily take the time to read what ICP is able of doing and what you can even do on ICP. And the same exact thing applies to TAP, because a lot of people want to necessarily see more. They don't necessarily understand, you know, some of the developer docs that are out there, especially when it comes to TAP and ICP. And even myself, I mean, I don't have a developer background, but I did take a look at some of the ICP related docs, and it's incredibly complicated. So both of these projects, if you have been taking a look at some of their token prices, and I think that's what typically a lot of people associate with the success of these projects, right? The token prices. They've been facing some sell pressure, and to be honest with you, I think it's very much expected. I just encourage everyone who's listening to, you know, possibly take the time to check out the TAP and Track X posts. They've been making like snippets of their spaces. They've been trying to clear a lot more things, and I think make it a lot more understanding for a lot of different people as well. So I'm very much bullish on the ecosystem. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually really awesome that ICP is being utilized, because I think that a lot of people don't understand that they have really strong tech, right? And I know that phrase is like overused in our space, like the tech is great and all that stuff, but they really do. Their problem has always been like marketing, and then, you know, FUD from like the price when it first launched and all that stuff. But this is a mutual benefit, in my opinion, because now not only does you know, TAP benefit from the technology, but ICP also benefits from being able to assist like a major Bitcoin meta protocol, right? So I think this is going to be really great for both sides of the, you know, coin.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for
it. It will extend, I want to say, to, you know, some of the projects associated with TAP and some of the TAP ecosystem projects. Like the benefit is going to be felt across even Bitcoin Layer 1, in my opinion, not only for like TAP itself and TAP projects.
Yeah, we got a fan of ICP in here, Blockchain Bay. Says, I love ICP, and she knows her stuff because she says, shout out to the canisters there. And the canisters are their version of smart contracts, right? So shout out to you, Blockchain Bay, doing your homework there.
100%.
All right. Go ahead.
Let's kind of get into Traverse real quick. I just want to show you guys something that I've been looking at. So if you guys need more information on Traverse, they do have this Learn tab right here, right? And they have these amazing videos, so many of them too. I mean, it's a bunch. But you guys can have everything you need. Just go to traverselabs.io /learn, or come here and hit the Learn tab, and that'll bring you guys to all these amazing videos. You guys get more, get more familiar with what they're building here and stuff like that. So.
Yep. And actually, one of those videos goes over a topic that we're going to discuss here for the next few minutes, which is recoverability. Which exact video is that, Abdul? Unless I was incorrect about.
Yeah, if you go down, because that's the walkthrough videos, you see walkthroughs. That is
right
the one
there.
to the left. Yes.
Yeah, the first one right there.
Yeah, exactly. So the reason the articles, if you notice, the articles only go up through April 11th is because they're mainly focused on tokens. Most of our updates for Traverse, you can find them on our X account and our Discord as well.
Gotcha. Yeah. So if you're watching this, visit the website and then go to the Learn tab, and you can click on that vault recovery later whenever you have more time to listen to it. But I wanted to get into that topic with you in terms of recoverability, because some people probably will freak out if they, don't have a piece of the, verification process. So could you talk about what that recoverability process looks like, and what to do if you're in that situation.
Sure. So the most important thing, or the key takeaway from any of the conversations that we have with Traverse, or if you hear to any one of us at the team members, is Traverse is secure and recoverable. So your assets always remain secure and they're always recoverable. So what exactly does recoverability mean? You create, using your wallet, your vaults, and you're able to transfer all of your assets into the vaults that you create. And that way that activates our security layer. Now, assuming that, for example, you lose access to that wallet's private key, or you're unable to access the vaults for any reason. It could be because you think that the wallet associated with the account is drained, or someone has access to the private key, or it's exploited. So you don't want to take the risk to even connect to your Traverse D app and access your vaults, even though nothing's going to happen to your assets. And what happens there is that if you lose your private key, you're obviously unable to connect to Traverse with that wallet and view the vaults that you have created with the assets you have transferred. So what happens here with Traverse is that you're able to connect any brand new wallet. It could be a wallet you literally just created with $0 worth of Bitcoin in it. You're able to connect, go through with the account setup process, and you're able to recover all the vaulted assets that are associated with that wallet address or that wallet's private key that you no longer have access to. And that's the benefit of Traverse. And your recovery process is twofold. So without making it sound a bit too complicated, you got to maintain your MFA codes. So make sure those are handy because they are key for recoverability. And also the recovery mechanism, which you set up during the time of your account creation. So what the recovery mechanism is, it could be your security questions, which are customized. So we store the questions, we don't store the answers. And or it could be your mnemonic, so a standard 12-word phrase that you could use. You need both of these. So you need your MFA codes plus recovery mechanism to recover all your vaulted assets. The video is obviously like a better visual demonstration because a lot of people don't necessarily grasp what we mean, especially in the space when you say that you lose access to your private key. A lot of people associate with losing access to your assets, and it's not the case with Traverse.
Yeah. I'm going to show the video since it's really quick. If you can kind of just walk us through what is happening.
Sure. You want to hit as well, like maybe 1.5x speed to make it faster for everyone. If you want to do that, that doesn't have to be the case.
I think it might be in the settings right there.
Yeah, it's in the settings, exactly.
Right there, that little gear, yeah.
Gotcha. Play like normal, 0.5.
Perfect.
All right. And then we'll play it.
So here we're just connecting an account. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So we're connecting to a wallet that already has vaulted assets in a vault that was already created. You can see it has Bitcoin and it has Traverse BRC-20 tokens. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a brand new wallet with $0 worth of Bitcoin in it. So you can check it out here in the video. So this is us generating a brand new account. This is account 10, has its unique wallet address. And here we're connecting account 10 to Traverse. And you can see now you're actually going through the account setup process itself. So you're setting up a brand new account with Traverse. And you can use the same email for multiple Traverse accounts as well. So you're setting up a brand new account whenever you're recovering an account associated with a wallet, essentially. You're setting up your email and authenticator, and now you have this prompt. So it asks you whether you're setting up a new account or recovering another one. In our case, you're recovering. You're entering the wallet address associated with the account that you're recovering, which is the receiving Bitcoin address, in order to locate these vaults. And then you're verifying your MFA associated with the account or the wallet that you no longer have access to. In our case, again, it's the same email because you can use the same email for multiple Traverse accounts. Now you can see it has located all of the assets that are associated with the wallet that you no longer have access to, the vaults there. In our case, we're only going to be recovering the Bitcoin and the Traverse tokens. You're selecting your network fee, and now this is the security questions part of the recovery mechanism. So you can see here that the questions themselves are stored, meanwhile the answers aren't. So answers, you got to keep them handy in order to recover your account if something happens to your private keys. So remember that. And in this case, we're just going to be inscribing the necessary transfers, finalizing the recovery. And as soon as we hit proceed, you can see that a brand new vault has been created in that new account connected to that account you just created, which is account 10. So you can see account 10 still has $0 worth of Bitcoin in it, and it has a vault with the assets you recovered. And this is how Traverse functions. So Traverse, regardless of what happens to your private key, your assets are always secure and recoverable. That's really the key takeaway for you guys.
Yeah,
Amazing.
That was a great breakdown. Even though it was like really fast, you kept up with it. But that is really reassuring in my opinion, because sometimes people make mistakes and they misplace their seed phrase, and they just have to re-download a wallet or something like that. In this case, as long as their MFA is intact, they can create a brand new wallet and just port over the items into the new security vault. So love that you guys have options for people that might have made a mistake, right? So
I have worked with a centralized exchange, and I think one of the reasons that many people still use at least crypto CEXs is basically for that convenience, and at the same time it kind of gives you a security feel because someone else is responsible for your assets. This exchange is the one that is supposed to maintain your asset security and make sure that your assets aren't broken into. And that's where I think like a barrier is created, where a lot of people who just simply purchase crypto through a centralized exchange don't necessarily go out there and interact with the ecosystems that we have, including the Ordinals ecosystem, obviously the ETH ecosystem of mainly 2021, 2022 on Solana as well. So we want to make sure that people interact with crypto, they interact with these really blockchain innovations that keep occurring on a daily basis, where new projects come out, some good, some bad. Obviously, some have malicious intentions, but there's really a lot to explore. And we want to make sure that people aren't just limited by that factor of security, and that they feel comfortable putting money into crypto and exploring what we have created together in the ecosystem.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know. I'm just really bullish on what you guys are building and the future that you guys are going to have with, especially, being in multiple ecosystems. It's going to be, I think you guys have a lot of upside, for the project here. All right. Well, we appreciate you, breaking down the recoverability aspect of Traverse. And if you don't mind hanging out with us a little bit, we can get into some Q&A.
Sure, I'd love to.
So let's go ahead and dive directly in it. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us. A little slower day today. We got 201 people in here, but we appreciate you guys hanging out with us on a bloody Wednesday. But let's dive right into it. So Date Diver, we'll start with you. Ask when information about atomicals. So we actually touched on atomicals yesterday. If you saw, we're watching our live stream, but here's a little bit more information on it. It looks like the Wiz wallet, which is the main wallet for atomicals, has announced that staking is now live. So you can stake with Wiz wallet. I believe Babylon chain is the chain that they're using, but I would visit at Wiz wallet, WIZZWALLET on Twitter to kind of go through that. So, hey, Wiz Wallet has been making some updates. Obviously, they're very quiet for the most part, the entire ecosystem, but that's what we can touch on today. And I think Toothy's also kind of got a little bit of a floor back there at $200, I think. So, what do you think? What do you think about atomicals, Shizzy?
I remember Toothy's at $1,200 because I was
2,000,
but
no, they got to 2,000 at one point. Yeah.
I think I bought them at like 1,200, like 800. So I'm still pretty down from that. I gotta check that wallet. But yeah, I just need to see some building. Like at least with Tap right now, you're kind of seeing the beginnings of what they're building. Atomicals, you don't really see much, right? So that's our biggest problem. And I've been saying it since January. I would love to have some atomical builders on the show. Can't find any, right? There's nobody that's willing to come on the show anyway. So it's unfair to say I can't find any. I guess they're just not willing to come on the show. But.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. Maybe we can get WizWallet on the show. I'm curious about your opinion, Abdul. Obviously, you and your team are building in the Tap ecosystem, but if you could kind of take an objective perspective on this question, or on, I guess, the question of what your thoughts are in Atomical's Meta Protocol ecosystem, what would that be?
Yeah, I mean, to remain objective, I'm just going to say I haven't taken a look much at the ecosystem, so I can't give an honest answer here without being just a bit biased towards the Tap ecosystem.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that's fair. Fair. All right. We got Superfan saying Yen Tech Solutions. Love it. Yeah, we Yen Tech, we threw Mr. Yen on the thumbnail. I think that's what he's talking about. Are you bullish on Yen Tech Solutions?
No, I've been loving the memes that you guys make on Mr. Yen. Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Yeah. The next NVIDIA, I think. No, I'm just kidding.
Yen Tech Solutions. Dude, we should make some type of, we should fork something and make it Yen Tech Solutions.
That would be funny. All right, Cheaty asks Shizzy, are you using any bots for your Rune purchases? Rune Evo scammed him. I don't even know what Rune Evo is.
They're the people in our freaking comments who are just saying Revivo crap. Oh no, I'm sorry you got bit by that, dude. Please don't, like, I don't know. I feel bad now because they've been in our comments for like weeks now, but you can't stop them. They're just botting they're saying Revivo is like the next big thing and stuff like that. And did you see them?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I've seen bots in there with just multiple projects, just kind of just trying to shill it and stuff like that. Yeah, guys, please be careful. Cheaty, sorry that you fell victim to that. But just please, if you don't recognize the individual or project at all, just do not click on anything or follow through, and just come to ask us in the Discord, or Cheaty, you've messaged me on X before, so just shoot me a message. I'll get back to you. Sometimes I'm busy, or Shizzy will be busy, but we will get back to you at some point.
It's funny. Like, I've also seen MetaMask support, a bot that has a MetaMask support that's also verified on Twitter. It has a gold check as well.
A gold check? Wow.
A gold check. So it's a verified org, and it occasionally responds to like messages on MetaMask. If you mention like MetaMask or tag them, then you get the army of bots saying MetaMask fund recovery, MetaMask support, and then you get the gold check accounts as well. So just be extra careful. Always check to make sure it's a proper account, even on Twitter, because you don't want to be clicking on links. But you know what? Like, even if you clicked on the link and your assets were in your Traverse vaults, then it won't be an issue.
There's a perfect alley-oop right there, baby. I love it. Yeah. Very, very true statement, though. If your assets were in the Traverse vault, that it wouldn't have happened. But yeah, Cheaty, make sure you reach out to us or anybody else in the community, that you've recognized, Yashir, John, anybody. All right. John is next up, actually, and says, I smell a Tap Wallet interview. What birdie have you been talking to? Because there's definitely some sort of thing lined up with both of the Tap Wallets. So we're trying to get some information, as much information as possible. Shizzy and I both agree that like a Tap Wallet that is just trustworthy will make a huge difference in the Tap ecosystem. And there's a possibility that we're starting this ecosystem with two, and how amazing would that be? In my opinion, you're right. Like, usually you don't have that situation. So we're actually going to be on a call with Tap Explorer ecosystem. They did respond to us. I guess our call to action yesterday worked. And so we're going to try to get as much information out of those guys, because hey, look, I think two is better than one. If you have two options, that's a great situation.
Yeah, and what I would do too is, like, if that does a situation, I wouldn't go all in on one wallet, because you don't know, because wallets, sometimes they have stuff in the back end. You have to be really, worrisome about that type of stuff. So what I'm going to do, let's just say I have, a lot of Ghosty, I would break it up if I want to, like, use those wallets, connect to the marketplace. I'm hoping the marketplace does have connections for these tap builders. I mean, because they built for, obviously Unitap will probably be one, and this tap wallet will be the other one. But put a little bit in each, right? And maybe keep some in your Express wallet as well as like a safety procedure. And the ones that you're trading or something like that, you put to these wallets, and then maybe you're using both of them. It's probably it's good. It's good asset management
Hygiene.
or good hygiene, yeah, for sure. Or lock them up in Versus Vault, and when you're ready to use them, send them out. So
yeah, exactly. And I'm actually, if Tap Wallet and Explorer, checks out here, because we have Shizzy and I have a couple other checks and balances with them after the call. If they check out, man, I'm actually bullish because they've had a head start. Yeah. Now, Unitap's probably been building in silence, right? So we don't know what that looks like. But from what we've seen from Tap Explorer and Wallet, they've been working hard to like the DMT stuff and all that stuff. So what are your thoughts on that, by the way, Abdul?
I've been seeing the Tap Wallet and Explorer guys. They've been doing, they have been doing a lot of developments, I gotta say, including like the token privilege authority mint on their site as well. So that's the first instance, I believe, of the privilege authority being used to mint tokens, not ordinals. So in the case of DMT, the Royals and all the others, I think it's for the benefit of the ecosystem. If there's multiple wallets that are catering to tap users, tap holders, it means there's demand and there's infrastructure that's being supported. And the key to get any really ecosystem off the ground is that infrastructure support. So we got the marketplace coming, we got the wallet coming. There's a lot of different things coming as well, and I think it's just for the benefit of everyone in the ecosystem.
Yep, 100%, 100%. DJ says, good morning, Shizzy and Yagobi. Good morning to you, DJ. Thank you for being a member. All right, guys, let's see. Cheaty says, Yagobi, since VDEX is already talking about the farms they will debut, can you ask them about other pairs so that we can get ready? Yeah, so I don't know. Do we have any information on that, or is that something that needs to be held back a little bit?
So we do know a couple, but everything changes with those guys so often. I would hate to say something and then it just not be true. So until we get this is happening, then I think
I don't know if you saw the recent message, but that's pretty much permanent.
Is it permanent? Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think we can release those yet. I would just say look out for our next member stream.
Yeah,
maybe we'll schedule that for tomorrow, because I think we're gonna get with the team and see what we can announce. So we will try our best to be able to do that in the members live stream.
Yeah, but if you haven't bridged your Vrothia mine over there yet to Merlin, do so. Because that's the alpha that we can give you. That you can earlier you stake, the better off you'll be.
Yeah, we saw the single stake yesterday. It's amazing. The LP side as well for the Runes token there. Tomo, our guy Tomo says cycle is playing out per normal. Yeah. That's kind of what Shizzy went over and I went over this morning with the chart from the 2016-17 cycle. Looks very similar to that.
I have real quick though, I have a question for Abdul. So you woke up from, let's just say you went out drinking the night, right? You get trashed. You wake up tomorrow morning, you don't know where you're at. You wake up and you have Satoshi's keys on your arm. What's it? And you put them in, you grab an X-First wallet, pop the words in, it pops up. All the Bitcoins there, all the burn stuff's there. Do you do anything with it?
Honestly, I'll just take a look at the tokens that were sent to that address for burning, because there would be a lot of projects sending a lot of tokens there. It would be interesting to see which ones.
Yeah. Moving one Bitcoin would send the entire ecosystem into disaster mode. Do you move any?
No.
Okay.
You just can't do it, dude. You just can't do it. Like, you could ruin like the entire future of possibly fixing our mistakes of our society or human mistakes and stuff. So, all right. Pratik Gupta says, are you guys following DMT UNAT projects? Yes, we are. That's something we're getting more involved in. We have recently dove into the Natomon project. We're in a Telegram with that team where we plan on diving further in, hopefully maybe getting them on the show. That's an interesting one because there's a card game behind it. And, once you get things more complex, in the back end at least, it can be more interesting to people that like to nerd out like myself. And that's where I think like a card game comes into play. So definitely looking at that. And we're open to, hearing about more DMT UNET projects. So we are definitely starting to follow. Go ahead.
I'm looking into getting something in that ecosystem. I haven't done it yet, but that's what really gets me going is when I own something in the ecosystem, right? So whether that be a Royal or a Nat Cat or something, I'm kind of looking at something. I like to hold stuff that I like what it looks like. And the Royals, the only ones I really like is the crowns, right? So I'm looking at the crowns. I'm looking at stuff like that. I'm looking at the, what was the ones we saw yesterday, Yagobi? It was the ones that was the Nat Cats, but they were moving. The Nanimations or something?
Yeah, I think so.
They look
There's
cool.
Wizard Mations too.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, there's like Nat Wizards. There's Tickabits. There's like the DMT Pandas. There's a lot of DMT projects coming out.
The DMT Pandas are cool because it's not straight lines. It's like there's curvature to it, but it's still clean art. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I got to own something. I'm gonna go shopping this weekend. I'll let you guys know what I buy.
Yep. All right, Puppet or Ninja?
Puppet.
Yeah, I agree.
Puppet.
I like Trevor. It's just he can't push a project like the Puppet guys can,
Yeah, but puppets they're sinking, aren't they?
They're sinking for now, but who knows? Everything's sinking, right?
Yeah. You're
probably referring to the one that was sold yesterday for like a 1.1 Bitcoin or something. Is it the Princess one from the Ninjas?
Is that what? I didn't realize it was sold for that much. Goodness.
There was one that sold for like 1.1 Bitcoin. I think it was like 76K USD yesterday.
Oh man.
Regardless, I feel like the communities, they're a bit different. I like the Puppet guys more. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a toss up between Puppets and Ninjas for short term or like medium term, but I'll take an Opium. Is that an option? I don't know. I feel like for long term, sustainability. Yeah, like Puppets is hard for me because I do think there's going to be a collectability factor towards the peak of this and afterwards. I think like someone had said something about, there's a lot of people saying a lot of stuff about NFTs and how like it's not gonna make it right now. They're saying it on Twitter's timeline because of like the Bored Apes right now and the price is tanking and all that stuff. I think Ordinals completely changed the game for people that have the collectible experience and tangible collectible markets like myself. I do agree with that from the east side. Like I don't see collectability from those NFTs really, rarities a little bit, but like the collectability aspects from Ordinals, completely night and day. Like inscription numbers, rare sats, all that stuff is stuff that like people that collect rookie cards, PSA 10s, like tangible stuff, like they can relate to that because you have to do added layers of value. You can't just have one added layer of rare traits and that's it. You have to have multiple, and that's what Ordinals did. So to me, Ordinals is the collectibles of the digital, marketplace.
100%.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, Ernesto Gonzalez says, I changed my 50% of my dog for track and dot to, I see 20 million supply. Very bullish on track, not financial advice. And that's all due to Shizzy told him directly. No, I'm just kidding. But what do you feel about that? 50% of dog going into track.
Track and dog are actually my two biggest holdings right now, and there's something from over there in dot too. I don't want to say what it is, but hydration is a layer one on dot. I just want something out there.
Blasphemy.
From the whole two. I know it is. I'm sorry, but hydration, dot, and I'm doing no hydration. Track and dog are my three biggest holdings right now.
Gotcha. What do you think about taking half of his dog and putting it in track? I know that you don't like. Well, I was gonna ask Abdul, but go ahead. What you got?
Oh, go ahead. No. I was just gonna say, I just think that track and dog are gonna kind of move together. I think I can see them both getting. Well, I don't know. Track might move a lot more because track's way lower market cap. I don't know. Well, track has the tap, token as well, so it's tough. But yeah, I honestly think that you're good either way. I think dogs is. I don't know. I don't know. You're good.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
So Abdul, again, I know you don't like to talk on like tokens very much, but like from just, I guess if you were to say like runes versus track, like how do you feel? Do you think that's like a okay move if it was you, or what you don't have to say anything if you can't, but like what would you say about this if you could say anything at all?
No, look, I think especially in crypto, diversification, especially amongst like key plays, is very important because dog is obviously very centralized, very much so similar to track, where they're both led by their own communities, led by their own respective teams. But at the same time, it's very much a different player, right? Because you got dog, which is a meme token. It's, you know, it's the king of the memes on runes right now. And then you got track, which is a utility play, and it's going to continue being a utility play as well. So there's two separate, you know, two separate projects here. One is a meme, one is a utility. So I think, you know, at least maintaining diversification between them, whether it's 50-50, 60-40, I mean, depends on your holding, depends on the number of tokens and projects you're invested in or want to take a look at. I think it's very much appropriate. Yeah.
Yep. Good answer. All right. We're going to kind of get through a couple of these a little bit quicker, guys, because we're running out of time here. But Pat says, what's your opinion on DMT protocol real quick? Shizzy, you start.
I gotta dig more. I'm so out of the loop with the stuff. I gotta spend some time with it. I know I've been saying that for weeks. I'm going to. I'll give you guys a better opinion. My opinion right now is just I just don't know enough about it.
Got it. Abdul.
I think to be honest with you, it is a very much a game-changing protocol for art on Bitcoin and art on, you know, the crypto ecosystem in general.
Yeah,
and even beyond that.
Yeah, I'm actually bullish on it. I think that it's a slow growing community. That, I mean, it initially pretty quick, but then now it's kind of slow. But the more that people get educated on it, I think it's going to be a very strong part of the tap ecosystem. Like I think that's why Benny's is really kind of put his eggs in part in that basket as well. So that's my opinion on it. I guess so. It says right here, yo, I'm still dying laughing at how Shizzy pronounces his name. It's Reziak, formerly Dan H. So Dan Held.
Okay.
Dan Held.
I was wondering because I've never seen this name before, and I've seen Dan obviously a lot, but so it's Reziak. Okay, I'll get it better for tomorrow. What did I say?
I don't know. I can't remember. something not that. Crypto Hot News says, hey, Shizzy and Yagobi, we wait for the first live on TikTok. I want to ask if you really believe Merlin will reach market cap of Stacks in this cycle. Thanks. That's actually a good question. Do you think it reaches, what is Stacks market cap, by the way? Let me see.
Yeah. I don't think it catches Stacks. I think Stacks moves just like Merlin moves. So I still think my target for Merlin is $8, which puts it pretty high. But that's just my personal opinion for it. I'm holding it. You know, I got the airdrops, so it's all free for me technically because I really didn't buy any. But yeah, I'm gonna hold mine to, you know, $6 to $8 because I participated in the seal, and I got, you know, I had close to 3 Bitcoin in there at one point, so I got a lot of Merlin, so I'm just gonna hold it. Do I think it hits the Stacks market cap? I think it hits what Stacks is now, but I don't think it competes. They kind of float together
as the bull market goes. So
yeah,
Stacks is at 3 billion, and Merlin right now is at 611 million. So yeah, I think it can get to 3 billion. Should be able to pretty easy this bull run. All right, let's see. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. All right, I got to get Ishitoshi's one of his questions in. It says, you know what you should be doing right now, lads? You should buy a Bitcoin worm or get some wiggle in it. Get some wiggle in it. So
that's a project from Block. He's showing.
I knew
right
that was from Block. Block has taken over Ishitoshi's account.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. And let's see.
I think that's it, right? There was a traverse question here. Did you see that one?
Yeah, let's see if there is. Oh, I think there. Oh, wait, right here. Claudio says, so if Traverse goes off, what's the easiest way to extract assets from the vault? Oh, this is a good question.
Yeah, it is a really good question. And even if Traverse's front end goes off, the best way to extract the assets from the vaults is going to be primarily through our Doomsday protocol. So more detailed information on that is live on our GitHub. We can walk you guys through it. We can make videos on it. But essentially what it is that even if we go offline, as long as you have access to your MFA codes, as long as you have access to that recovery mechanism, your assets are always recoverable regardless of what happens to Traverse itself.
Good answer.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, we could even do something like that too if you guys need it. We could do a video on how to do it if or if you want to give us just instructions on what the Doomsday protocol is, we can kind of maybe run through that as well.
Sure, would love to. And for anyone who's like more technical as well, it's currently live on our GitHub. This will make sure over time to start explaining it in a lot more words that are less technical and more straightforward and understanding for the rest of the viewers here. But the basics of it is yes, even if Traverse's front end goes down, as long as you have access to those MFA codes, your recovery mechanism, then you're all good. No issues.
Yeah. And he says, okay, I want a video if possible. Yeah, we can definitely do a video on that. So,
yeah. All right, guys. Sorry if we missed your questions. I know there was a couple other questions in there that we missed. We're just really strapped with time right now because we do have a meeting coming up. But Abdul, we really appreciate you jumping on like you do every Wednesday. We're super bullish on Traverse and what's to come. We will see you soon. Talk to you soon.
I appreciate you guys for having me as always. And thank you everyone for listening as well. We'll see you next Wednesday, guys.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
You too.
So, obviously, we have him on every Wednesday. We love having him on. I like when he's just answering normal questions with us. That's the best part for me. You know what I mean? Like it's fun to have a third voice come in, and he's very knowledgeable about the space. That's one thing people need to understand. Like he's not just not just here for Traverse. He's a community member as well.
Yeah, 100%. That's why we love having our partners on like that, getting familiar with them and stuff. Oh, Kai Effect, thank you, sir, for the tip there. We appreciate you. But yeah, to your point, it's good to get people familiar with faces and stuff and personalities, especially with the history of the overall crypto space, right? And I think we do things different over here in Ordinals, but. Yeah, guys, that's going to wrap up everything here. Please check out our sponsors, Ordinal Hive. They're going to be launching on Merlin soon. We actually just put out an article on ordinalrevolution.com going over the Ordinal Hive team, what they have planned for Merlin, what they have planned for Bitcoin Layer 1. So please check that out. Also, Fluid Tokens, guys. We're going to have our Fluid Fridays coming up here in 2 days. They have a DEX for runes, guys, and right now there's a problem with runes. Everything's getting bricked by groups of cabals that are trying to stifle token market cap growth, but Fluid Tokens takes care of that because they will split the runes for you and sell based off of what the buyer is looking to spend in terms of Bitcoin. Go check that out. If you add liquidity, if you do things on their DEX, you will earn points that will go to a future airdrop. Also, Verothium DEX, guys, on Merlin Chain is going to be launching very, very soon. They got liquidity pools. We saw the contracts. It looks great. And then, of course, Traverse Labs. We just had Abdul on. Amazing security solution for Bitcoin.
100%. And to Yagobi's point here, these amazing articles up and right here, guys. So check this out, brand new as of today. And if you're going to Bitcoin National, we got 21% off if you use Bitcoin here. So check that out. And also check out our store here. Hit the store tab, and that'll take you to the Ordinal Revolution store. We have some of the best Ordinal gear, so check that out. And we're going to get out of here. We hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. We hope Bitcoin is up only from here, but only time will tell. But until then, see you guys tomorrow.
Peace.
We OG, or no OG. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a night, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC-20, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookie on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.